right, everybody, welcome back to Versus Live. My name is Corey Baumeister.
And I'm Ross Merriam.
And we got Rob in the booth. Say what's up, Rob.
What's up, Rob?
Rob will be taking all your questions, comments, concerns, and burns in the chat. Make sure to tag at Star City Games. He will get his favorite ones sent over to us. All right, so we are continuing a little modern gauntlet here with this 4-color Omnath Uro time wipe strategy. What are we calling this?
I just call it Time Warp Uro.
Just Time Warp Uro? Okay.
4-color ramp per Cedric Phillips.
4-color ramp?
4-color ramp? That's what he calls it?
We're 4-color ramping now. How about Gusher Fingers Warp? That's probably good, right?
Can we call it Taste the Rainbow?
Just call it
We're
Skittles?
close to Halloween.
Yeah, I like Skittles. We'll just go with
4-color
Skittles.
ramp? It's not even a ramp deck.
It's got gross power, Ross.
That's true.
We gotta get some
gross power and
standardized, like a standardized glossary of Magic the Gathering terms.
Yeah, and unify them. Yeah,
that's what Cedric does, apparently.
That's not. He just gloms things together, and they make these so that there's no distinctions between anything anymore, and everything just has a generic name, even if it's not appropriate.
Well,
It's not even a ramp deck.
it's Growth Spirals and Arrows. They're Rams.
It has cards that have mana acceleration. Am I playing a ramp deck because I have Flagstones of Torquay and Cleansing Wildfire?
Yeah, you're Jeskai Ramp.
Yeah. Can we change mine? I'm Jeskai Ramp. Okay.
All right, so we are continuing the battles here, testing out 4-color Ramp. Next up is Jeskai Ramp here. But no, Jeskai, the Aspiring Spike Brew, if anybody has been seeing him play, really cool deck. I know I've been tuning in a decent amount. The deck looks really interesting. Seems like a nice, good default control deck in the format where normally we haven't been seeing much of them. Normally control has just been so bad against big mana. But with the land destruction spell, with the Cleansing Wildfires, in the main deck, you're a lot better against Tron. You're a lot better against, Guru Lands and stuff like that, too. So it makes a lot of sense where you kind of cover your bad matchups a little bit, and then you're naturally good against aggro decks because you have so much removal, and then just counter spells makes you good against a wide variety of things. So in theory, it makes sense that this deck is doing well.
Yeah, no, it's a really neat brew. That ability, the combo with Flagstones and Cleansing Wildfire, making that card main deckable, is not only great to help out the matchups where it's good targeting your opponent's lands, but being able to ramp the growth on turn 2 in your control deck is super valuable.
Yeah, Jace on turn 3 is almost unheard of if you're not a teamer deck.
Exactly. Teferi on turn 4, you can start playing multiple spells in a turn earlier. It's super valuable. It fixes your mana. You're almost always finding a Rogran Triome off the Flagstones trigger.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's nice.
So it really is a great element to this deck, really interesting, and helps it out across the board.
Sounds great. Okay, so I got beat badly last round, so I will be going first this time. Come on. Wow. My hand started like this. I'm like, okay, let's get some lands, and we're set, and then it went here. So.
Yeah, they didn't show up.
So I'm mulligan again. No, I've mulliganed a lot with this deck.
Bit of awkwardness here in my opening hand. I'm still going to keep. We're going to need a little bit of help.
Okay. This isn't right. I'm mulliganing like 3 times today on Versus. This is not cool. In a deck where that seems very consistent, all the fetch lands kind of get all your mana. Ren and 6, if you have that in your opener, you almost never have to mulligan, but here we are. Okay.
It's just the universe trying to compensate for my injury.
Yes, I think so. I think you're right. All right, I will keep. This is a card you definitely want in your deck more often than in your hand.
Is that a Nexus of Fate?
No, but
Mystic
close.
Sanctuary?
There you go. I'll pass to you.
Flooded Strand. Pass.
Okay. All right, I will go with a land, and then I will pass to you.
I will crack this Flooded Strand.
Okay.
I will select Steam Vents.
Okay.
I'm at 19.
19, you got it.
No, I'll still get a Triumph. I have plenty of white mana. I thought maybe there's a chance I want to cycle Rogran Triumphs later in the game.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say it just seems like you always want to get a Triumph as your first round.
That's so far down the road.
Agreed.
Okay. Rogran Triumph. Now.
But wait, there's more.
Oh, that was not the red card I wanted to draw. Flagstones of Trocaire go.
Sure. End step, I'll sack this. I will get, I think, just Hallowed Fountain here.
19 all.
I will take 2. I'll go to 17.
17.
Remember, I'm a ramp deck.
Gross barrel.
Yes.
Got a ramp on turn 2 in your ramp deck.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be a ramp deck.
Exactly.
So
Okay. Draw. Interesting which land I want to play. I think we'll just get this into play so I don't have a tap land later. Untap. I'll draw. Now, I think I want to play something here. Yeah, we'll go with Omnath.
Resolves.
I'll draw. Your go.
End step, I will path the Omnath.
Okay. The Pathnath.
Till.
How many basics do I have in this? One of every color? That's pretty cool.
I will then play to Fairy.
Okay.
And I'm going to get my value immediately. There's not a whole lot I want to be bouncing.
Okay.
So I'll draw my card and pass the turn.
All right. Oh, that was sweet. I will go with... I'm going to start with Teferi.
Yep.
Okay. I don't want to get my value right away. I don't think there's really a reason. So I'll tick up. I'll ren down yours. And
That was a reason not to mine it.
yeah, there we go. And then I'll play this
Like
and
you don't
pass
have
to you.
bolts in your deck.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Okay, I will Cleansing Wildfire my Flagstones.
Okay. That sounds good.
So I destroy it first, and I resolve the Cleansing Wildfire.
Okay.
God, I'm not drawing well.
Good.
And I will get a Hallowed Fountain off the Flagstones and an Island off the Wildfire.
Okay.
And then I will pass the turn.
Whoa. No land, eh?
Correct. I
All
kept a
right.
3-lander with multiple counter spells, but I couldn't cast the counter spells, and then I drew nothing but removals.
So everything's just coming up Millhouse, huh? All right. Well, let's go with Return the Scolding Tarn. Here I think I want to see if I can push my advantage and draw a card. That's exactly how you push your advantage. I will cast Time Warp.
Yeah, that's really good.
That's really good, because I'll play this, and I'll put this on top. I will draw this. I will tick this up. I will Time Warp again. I don't have anything to like go with it right now, but I think that's A-okay to just get my Teferi and just get a bunch of land drops. Maybe I'm doing that wrong, but...
You do you.
Yeah, it's interesting. Maybe I don't do all of these yet. So I will actually just stop this loop here and get...
So you've fetched twice now, so you're at 15 from the...
Yeah, and then I'll take 3 from the steam vents.
So you're at 13?
Yeah. And I will buy back this, because I can't get quite up there to just emblem. I guess that's just lethal, right? If I emblem at 8, then that's just infinite turns, huh? But I don't have that many Mystic Sanctuaries, so I think I will just pass.
I will Lightning Helix Teferi.
Oh, man, I like that.
Yeah, now I'm getting punished for fetching the Rogren Triome on turn 1 in the exact scenario that I thought I would.
Nice.
I will play a snap. No, that's going to get minused on.
Yep.
Okay, pass the turn.
Alrighty. Okay, I will... tick up. No, I took it back. I didn't cast,
Yeah.
I believe, right? But did I take an extra turn? I think I took that extra turn.
I don't
Or should it be in my hand? Because I took it back, but then I just put it in the graveyard. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it should just be in your hand.
Okay, yeah, because I didn't want to cast it that turn.
So fetch brings you to 12.
And I haven't ticked up Ren, so if I tick up Ren, that's 5. Time Warp this turn.
Oh, you only have 2 more Mystic Sanctuaries, so.
That's what I'm thinking. If I Time Warp this turn, tick up to 5, bring this back, put Time Warp up to 6. So I could get up to 7, but I could not emblem. So I don't want to actually Time Warp this turn. Sorry, just let me plan this out. So I can't Time Warp on your end step. That does like nothing with Teferi, right? It doesn't stack like Nexus does, because it's take a turn after this one with the way it's worded.
You would get extra turns.
I would? They would stack?
Yeah.
Because it just says target player takes an extra turn after this one.
Yeah.
But it would be your turn, so I'd only get my original turn.
So you would get the extra turn, then it would revert back to the regular turn order, where it's your turn next.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, then that's pretty cool. I'll go to 12. I'm just going to get a normal duel here. 3, 4, 5. Actually, I just want to get a basic. I do not have a basic of that color, so I will get a breeding pool. I will go to 10.
And Hidetsugu's second right.
Yes, I will get Scalding Tarn back with Ren. I'm at 10, and I will pass to you. I figured it out. I know what I want to do now.
I will play Snapcaster Mage.
The Snapcaster, you got it.
I will target Lightning Helix.
You got it.
I will Lightning Helix Renin 6.
Wait, Renin 6, huh? Do I even care? Yeah, I think I should still care. I will do that.
Force of Negation resolves.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
Time Warp. Take 2 turns now. A draw. I will crack this. Now we'll get the Sanctuary.
Cracking Tarn brings you to 9.
Yep. Put Time Warp on top. And I will draw a magic card. I will bounce this. Why not? Okay, I will Time Warp. So now I still got the next 2 turns.
Yeah.
I'll bring this back. Then I will bounce, draw a card. And then that's the loop. Yep, that's all we needed. Oh, yeah. All the turns. Well, that was way more fun than last round. I was doing some things.
Yeah,
some things.
I did not make land drops in Control Mirror, which is generally not a good idea.
Generally not good. And, like, just not having a mana leak early on for, like, even for Omnath. I mean, you did just have the answer, but that did ramp me. I am a 4-color ramp deck, of course.
Exactly. You don't want to ramp the ramp deck.
Yeah.
But I didn't really have other options. I drew the Cleansing Wildfire on turn 3 instead of turn 2, which was awkward. Then I drew a Remand off the Cleansing Wildfire when I only had 1 mana up.
Yeah.
And just very awkward draw.
Snowballed out of control. All right, that's going to do it for our first game here between Jeskai Control and 4-color ramp. We are going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with Sideboarding.
Welcome back to Versus Live, where we are sideboarding in our matchup between Jeskai ramp and 4-color ramp. Everything's ramp.
Everything's ramp. Even, the Vile decks, they ramp out spells faster. They got Noble Hierarchs.
One of my favorite pizzas that Fortunato has during the spring has ramps in it.
Oh.
They make pesto out of ramps.
Oh.
And put the pesto on the pizza with some
pesto does
lemon.
Seem like a blue-green style pizza, so that makes sense.
Well, it has some lemon on it, too, and fresh ricotta. And garlic. It's an incredible pizza.
Sounds delicious. Now I'm hungry. Thanks.
Yep. But on my side of things...
Hungry for wins on Versus Live, I meant.
We're going to try to slow down some of this ramping nonsense with a Confounding Conundrum.
Okay.
We also got some appropriate counterspells to the matchup in Dispute and Veto. 1 relic to attack Corey's Graveyard Shenanigans. Cutting the red removal I think that's pretty obvious. And I'm actually trimming 2 Cryptic Commands. It's a hard card to win counter wars with in against Simic decks, where they have cheap counter spells and Veil of Summer in particular. So you don't want to get caught with too many Cryptics in your hand. I still have access to 1 because it's a really powerful card later in the game, especially to get back with Mystic Sanctuary. But trimming 2 makes a lot of sense to me.
And for me, it's basically going to be evergreen every single match. Bring in Veil. It just
Veil is green. We know. Said it's going to be evergreen.
Evergreen, exactly. Thank you. But I mean, this card is just so good in so many matchups. But for the most part, you don't want to main it because they do get better post board just because people bring in more interaction for your decks almost always.
Yeah.
So they usually just get better post board. Otherwise, I thought about main decking them too and kind of just fell in that trap because I bring them in all the time. And then, you just play against like an aggro deck and you feel bad. But all right, Rob, you got any questions for us?
Maybe some long questions.
Yeah, Ross has got a shovel. It's going to take him a while, so.
I don't for right now.
You don't? Okay, perfect.
Please.
Well, then let's all just watch Shuffle. Watch Ross shuffle in silence.
Normally, I'm all down for that. Not today.
Not today. All right, let me help you out, Ross. Let me help you out. So, how do you think this matchup goes? You think it's favored in one of the directions, or?
I ultimately think it's very close and just incredibly skill intensive. It's so intricate, and when to use the counter spells, which counter spells. So I think the better player is going to win this matchup 90+% of the time.
You think so? Because I think it is. Normally, these kind of control matchups, I think, are really determined by we're doing stuff in the early game that's pretty even, but then just Uro and Field of the Dead eventually take over at such a high percentage of the time. So I would generally think this kind of deck is favored. That's pre-time wipe stuff, because I don't think the time wipe stuff is actually that good in this matchup, and in fact, it's a detriment. I'd rather have more planeswalkers and stuff like that. But I just think in general, Field of the Dead, because you don't have Field, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I think Field is probably the biggest one, but you do have a lot of ways to interact with it, so we'll see.
This hand is perfectly fine. I will keep.
This hand's playable. I'll take it.
Scalding Tarn and go.
Okay. Triome, your go.
I would also like a Rogran Triome. I will go to 19 for mine, though.
Okay.
We can't all be so lucky as to just have it in our opening hand.
I know. Well, you got to play 4, like a skill-intensive mage here.
No.
Okay. Can't argue with that logic.
Only need the 1.
Okay.
I will play a Scalding Tarn and pass the turn.
Alrighty.
It went so well last turn.
It did go well for you. All right, I will play a Flooded Strand and pass the turn.
Okay. Crack this fetch.
Okay. You're at 18.
I will get a... What do I want to get? Actually, I think I'm going to get a Steam Vents.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Checks out.
18.
Okay.
Might be a much slower paced game than last time, seeing as we're both.
Seeing as you take forever to shuffle. Oh wait, what? Oh yeah. The gameplay as well. Yep, you're right.
Island go.
Okay, I will sack this. I will go to 19. I will get a Triome.
19-8.
No Growth Spiral, so I am back to just being a 4-color control deck. 4-color mid-range deck. I'm ramp whenever I cast 1 spell. Okay, draw. Let's go with all right, let's go with a Flooded Strand, and I'll pass to you.
I will play Flagstones of Trocaire.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
End step, I will crack this.
18 all.
I'll get a Breeding Pool tapped. We're really doing stuff here. Really doing stuff.
I don't know if I would say that.
I will untap. 18 all. A draw. All right, I'm going to make the first move. It's going to be a big one. I'm going to cast Uro. Now I'm a ramp deck.
trigger on the stack, I'll pass the Euro.
Okay. So I'll search first. Let's just get a blue source. Uro will not be returning for a second season. It's been canceled. All right.
You're going to go to 21.
I'm going to go to 21. I'm going to draw a card. I'm going to put in a land. All the good stuff. I will put in a sad sanctuary, and I'll pass to you. So sad.
It's a pretty good draw.
Okay, don't like that.
I'll play a Jace.
Oh. I will play a mana leak.
I'll play a Mystical Dispute on your mana leak.
I will force using it's close. I think what to pitch? I got two options. I got a lot of options, actually. What is the best one? I think I will just pitch the other force.
Okay, which one are you forcing?
I will force the... probably Dispute. Yeah, get that
Right.
exiled. Correct. I passed.
Pass the turn.
Okay. I will untap. I will go with a Teferi.
Yep.
Okay, I will tick up, draw a magical card. A little bit of a tilt. I will tap this, untap this, and this. Pass to you.
Play a mountain and pass the turn.
All right. Gotta love winning those counter wards. Thank you, Force of Negation. What a card. All right, draw. I will start with a Ren and $60.
Yep.
Okay, I will tick up. Get the strand that's flooded. Then I will cast a... I will cast a nothing, and I will go to untap these two lands.
Cards in hand?
4.
My hand is awful.
My hand is not awful.
Yeah, your hand is all spells.
You don't know that.
Yes, I do.
Why?
Because you played a weak Mystic Sanctuary.
That I returned. I could have more lands. There's nothing that indicates that I don't have 4 spells. I do indeed have 4 spells, but there's no indication of
You
that.
played a Mystic Sanctuary for no value 2 turns ago.
2 turns ago, yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
I
you
could have
didn't
drawn
have you didn't have any more lands then.
But I made a land drop every turn.
Yeah, which means you drew a card and played a land every turn and had all spells left in your hand.
I don't know. Just because that is exactly how it is does not mean that is...
I guess you might have been able to draw a land off of this Teferi activation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe you had 1 land. But,
All right, you're right. I got lands. Or I got no lands. You happy?
But it was likely that you had all spells. Could like try to kill the Ren, but that's very unlikely to work. I don't really have anything I can do.
That's not a good sign for you if you have nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I drew the Jace, which was good, and it was just hope you don't have 2 counter spells, and you did, and then I died.
Yep. And honestly, realistically, I would not have played Uro there if I didn't either think I had Uro Force, Mana Lake. I wouldn't have played it if I didn't think you could dispute it and then untap into Teferi. You know, I had that covered, even if it countered.
Otherwise you can just wait, unless you don't have lands. Then you kind of have to just go.
Exactly, and I only played it when I had 5 lands so that I could untap, but I'm untapping. Yep. The Happy Sanctuary.
Go.
End step. Nexus of Fate.
Remand.
All right. I will sacrifice this.
You go to 20.
Yep. I will get a Sanctuary and put Force on top. May I untap? Sweet. 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 I will draw to Fairy. I will return a Flooded Strand. I will move to my end step, float 2 mana, 5, 6, 7, cast Nexus of Fate.
I will play a Snapcaster Mage.
Okay.
Target Remand.
You may target that.
Remand your Nexus of Fate.
In response, I will Grow Spiral.
Sure.
I will draw. I will play this. I will crack both of these, and I will force your remand.
Okay, I am very dead.
All right.
I just had Snapcasters in my hand and nothing to do with them.
Yep. Yeah, that's why Snap gets somewhat awkward for me in counter magics, because you don't aggressively counter stuff. So it feels weird. I don't know if many people do this, but I usually side out like 1 or 2 if there's like ever a chance that A, they could have any graveyard interaction, or it's just like if you need to get that one last card out, it's usually Snap for me, which feels wrong because it was like historically one of the most powerful cards, but I think it has lost a little luster as of late, but maybe that's just wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I kept a hand that was like 4 lands, Snap, Path, Mystical Dispute, and just didn't draw more cheap interaction, really.
Yeah.
Drew a lot of lands, another Snap and a Jace.
That is one thing I want to point out about this matchup. The dynamic of sideboarding there, just hearing that hand. Like, you have removal spells that's very bad against half my deck, but necessary against, you know, the 2 powerful creatures, and I get to Snap, take out, pass. I know they're bad, you know, and I get to build my deck for your 1 dimension of a deck. That comes into play a little bit. It's not huge, but yeah.
I also think all of my threats being force and negation targets is really nice for you. So you know that force is going to be really good. You don't need something else to go along with it.
Yeah,
to deal with a threat of mine. So
and all your counter spells are blue, so I know my Veils are on point as well. I think my cards are just all maximizing their potential, and yours have to be situational in some regards, which gives me a slight edge.
Yeah, it makes it trickier to play from my side of the matchup.
Yep, and I mean, for me, I do the typical thing for the early game that like Team or Rec would do against control decks, and it's just ramp, 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 ramp until you get to a spot where you get to do something degenerate, you know?
Keep.
You can't do that.
I don't want to shuffle again, Corey. And you can't make me.
All right, well, you're lucky I didn't actually see your hand, so we're good.
Blackstones go.
I'd like to cut.
It's already a pity game.
I'd like to cut.
Just let me have my fun.
All right, we'll give you the pity. Pity has been taken upon you. Let's go with the Mistiest of the Rainforest, and I'll pass to you.
Okay, Scalding Tarn.
What a
very
lucky draw.
I'm going to get a Steam Vents and Wildfire the Flagstones.
What a lucky draw on your part, jeez.
And Spell Snare.
All right.
So Flagstones will find Rogger and Triome. Cleansing Wildfire will find Island.
Okay. God, I should have forced that, huh? Just for the daggers.
I'm at 17, you're at 19.
Yep.
You're up.
All right, 17, 19, I shall untap. Ooh, that was a good one. Yeah, I think that's probably what I want to start with. I will crack this and go for Ren and 6.
So, that's going to put you to 16?
Yeah, I think I want Breeding Pool here. I'm just double checking. Green, blue... Red. Yeah, I think that's fine. We'll go like that.
Okay. I will force the Ren, pitch Dovin's veto.
Okay. And I'll pass to you. That was quite good.
Flooded Strand. I'm going to Cleansing Wildfire the Ketria Triome.
I just get a basic, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just Field of Ruin, essentially.
Gotcha. Mine's untapped or not untapped?
It enters... Oh, yeah, it is tapped.
Okay.
So it's like... Did I?
You sure?
Yeah, I think I was trying to shortcut everything.
You might have.
So these should replace themselves. Flagstones replace itself. Scalding Tarn replaced itself. And I have these 2 cards. Plus 4 is 6. Plus 3 is 9. And this is my turn 3.
Mm-hmm.
So I should have 9, right? If I was on the play.
I didn't listen to your math, but I believe you.
I have 4 lands in play. And the force and the veto is 6. 3 cards in hand makes 9. These other 4 cards all replace themselves. The turn became events. Oh, no, because I netted a card off the wildfire.
Yeah.
So I should have 1 more card.
Okay.
Okay.
Done.
Third mistake ever on versus one.
Alrighty.
The desire to shortcut things because of my wrist has led to some sloppiness.
Yeah, hey, it makes sense. It makes sense. All right, I am going to start with a Uro.
That is fine.
I will draw.
Brings you to 19.
Yes, I will play a land, and then I'll pass to you.
On my upkeep, I'll crack Flooded Strand.
Okay.
I'm going to get Mystic Sanctuary.
Okay.
And return Force of Negation.
That seems strong.
And I'll draw it, play a land, and pass the turn.
Okay, I will crack this.
Mysterian Force brings you to 18.
No, this should be down to 15.
But you went up to 19. You gained 3.
Oh, yep. 18. Fourth mistake ever on versus live.
Yeah. My land is a plains.
Okay. Actually. I actually want to get the other Triome here.
I need second green source for this Uro.
Yeah, that is a smarter thing. Don't need 2 white for basically anything. So get that. So 18, 17, correct?
Yep.
Okay. I'll draw. Let's see. Let's start with Omnath.
I will remand Omnath.
Okay. Ramanath. Okay, I will play an empty sanctuary and pass to you.
Play Jace.
Okay.
Resolves?
Yes.
Wow. Was not expecting that. I will brainstorm.
Okay.
And then I will play a Flagstones of Troker.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
All right.
Oh, that is not how this should happen. That's how this should happen.
Okay.
And these should be reversed. There we go.
Nailed
Figured it out.
Solved it.
I was so sure that this Jace was getting disputed. I just
You just slammed it on the table, huh?
I could have slammed it the turn before, but I didn't feel the need to. But once you have Omnath and Uro, I felt like I needed to start drawing some cards. Otherwise, I was gonna never find a good window.
Yeah. All right. Now, what can I do here? In a bit of a rough spot. Oh boy, I'm just thinking if I can play around anything or if I just have to kind of go for everything, which is not ideal. All right, I think we're going to go like this. Now?
Plays the land first. Suggests a 2-mana counterspell of some kind.
Of some variety.
And you have 3 more back? 4 more back.
4 cards, yep.
Omnath resolves, draw a trigger on the stack, pass it.
In response, crack this?
Delta brings you to 17.
Yep.
And you're going to go up to 21.
Yep. And I'm Oh, well, that's a tilt.
What are you trying to find?
I only have one untapped blue-green source in this deck.
Trying to growth spiral?
Yeah. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, I'm very dead then.
Get my pity game.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll just get a Triome then. And then I will search for Path. Still gain the life at least.
And then pass the turn.
Yep. And then I'll be done.
You draw a card off the Omnath.
Yep, of course. And get this.
So, I am going to be casting this, and I will draw the top card of my deck regardless. Yeah, I'm still going to do it first.
Okay.
So, Cleansing Wildfire Flagstones.
Okay.
So I draw this card.
Okay.
I get to search for both a plains and a basic. I will search for island, and let's go for Prairie Stream.
Okay.
Then I will brainstorm with my Jace.
All right. Not giving up yet. I got some goods. Got some goods in hand. It's going to be tough to deploy them all, but I got some goods.
Let's put those back.
Okay.
Then I will shock, go to 15 for this Hallowed Fountain.
Okay.
And pass a turn.
All right. You got 5 open.
5 mana open, 4 cards in hand.
That's scary. Okay.
I've outramped the ramp deck. 8 mana and played a Corey 7.
Who's the ramp deck now?
Apparently we're both ramped decks.
Yes, of course.
Everything
It was a trick question.
It's 2020. It's all ramp.
Okay, so I will start with a Omnath.
Another Omnath.
Omnath.
Another Omnath.
One nathy boy.
Yep. There's 3 more where that, or there's 2 more where that came from. There's 2 of the hands.
I will remand the Omnath.
Remand. Okay. Think I have to let that slide because I know you more than likely have a Force negation still because you bought that back a long time ago. Yep, it's been remanded. And then I will play this and I'll escape Earl.
Yep.
Drop.
You're at 24.
No land drop, and then I'll pass to you.
No land drop, he
Nope.
says.
We'll
play Confounded Conundrum.
Okay.
Draw a card.
Okay.
You 5, right, or 6?
6. My hand size is growing. I'm waiting for that Confounding Conundrum to help me next turn. Okay.
I am going to bounce Uro with Jace.
That makes sense.
And then I will pass the turn.
Okay. Now, I'm going to have a good turn, of course. Let's see. How do we want to start this? We got some options. I
would hope so with 8 cards in hand and 8 mana in play.
Yeah.
And at least 7 of the cards in your hand are spells.
Okay, so I'm going to start with a Teferi.
I will hard cast a Force of Negation on that.
I will Veil.
I will alternate cast a Force of Negation, pitching a Snapcaster on the Veil.
On the Veil. Okay. That is quite strong. What else do you have? Guess you could be playing around Mana Leak. You could have a dispute. You could have a leak of your own. Lots to think about. But so tough. All right.
Everything happens.
Everything's exiled. I will go with Omnath.
I will remand the Omnath.
Remand the Nath, eh? Okay, I will pass to you. It was a tough battle. Kind of thought I could win with 3 things, but yeah, nice sequencing there.
Brainstorm with Jace.
Yep.
Can do that.
Okay.
I will play Teferi.
Okay.
I will plus said Teferi.
Okay.
I will play a Scalding Tarn.
Okay.
And I will pass the turn.
Alrighty, let's try this again. Alright, we'll go with Omnath.
Okay, that resolves, draw a trigger on the stack, path it.
Okay, so I path first. Let's see how many basics we have left. I imagine not many, just a mountain. I mean, I got plenty more left. So have no fear. Okay, so that's first land. Now we'll go with Uro.
Sure.
Draw.
Brings you to 27.
Yep. I will play this, return Sanctuary to my hand. I'll go to, 27. I'll sacrifice this.
Sack Tarn brings you to 26.
Yep. Get a Steam Vent.
24.
I'll return a Mountain, and then I will attempt to play a Run and 6.
Tempting a Wren and 6.
Mm-hmm.
I will force that.
Okay. Pass to you.
Now I want my top card, so let's draw that one for turn.
Okay.
Then I don't want the card beneath it, so let's crack this Tarn. And do I want to get Mystic Sanctuary for Force of Negation?
Decent thought.
Is the question here. You've played couple Wrens, but and one baby Teferi. I know you have. I don't know if you have another Omnath, the Urz in the graveyard.
You know nothing about my hand except the lands.
Yeah, and you have 7 in hand.
6.
6.
Yep.
I think it's pretty good, so I'm gonna get it back.
Okay. Yeah, this game slipped away. That Teferi, Veil, Omnath turn was supposed to be my big finish, but having 3 pieces there was pretty bad for me.
Yeah, so I'm going to be at 14 from the fetch, put Force on top. I'm going to use Teferi to bounce Confounded Conundrum.
Smart.
That will draw the Force. Then I will play Confounded Conundrum.
Yep.
Draw a card.
Okay.
Then I will Brainstorm.
Okay.
Put those 2 back, I guess.
Okay.
Play a Scalding Tarn. Play a Relic of Progenitus.
Okay.
Tap the relic targeting you.
Okay.
And pass the turn.
All right, that should probably do it. Growth Spiral?
Sure.
And we'll put this into play, and 6. I will attempt to cast Time Warp.
I'm gonna Mystical Dispute that, seeing as
Don't blame you.
probably unlikely to do so later.
Yep, I will cast Growth Spiral.
Yep.
A draw. And I will play. Haven't played a land yet. I will play this for my Growth Spiral.
So that's the first land that's entered this turn.
Yep.
And I know you have a Sanctuary in hand.
Yep. I will crack this.
You go to 23.
I will get a. Doesn't do much. I will get a Hollowed Fountain. I'll return the Forest. I'll play the Forest, and then I'll return. Oh, I did play Mountain. Yeah, okay. So I had to return with Scalding Tarn?
Yeah. And now you have to. So you just have to return another land.
Yeah, okay. So this would stay in. I'll return the Mountain.
This got fetched, and you
I won't fetch then
Okay.
if I can't.
So you
use
fetched
it,
for the
so.
Hallowed Fountain, so that should be in your deck.
Yes. Sorry, screwed that all up. I'll fetch an end step here to avoid having
So
to.
You're still at 24.
Yeah, I'm going to fetch to avoid having to bounce it next turn. Now, if I had another blue-green... No, I don't. Okay, so I'll pass to you. And then I'm going to fetch.
Yeah. End step, I'll crack this fetch.
Okay.
Go to 13. Actually, maybe I just want to draw that first. No, that's whatever. I'll get the Sacred Foundry tapped.
Okay. Yeah, it's going to be a tough one to win. It's going to be a tough one to win. But I got one plan. It's not a good one, but it's a plan.
Draw.
Okay.
Plus Teferi.
Okay.
Brainstorm with Jace.
Yep. You've brainstormed far too many turns. I'm going to sack this to save some time. Can't interact on your turn anyway, so now I'll get that Hollowed Fountain. This just makes it so I don't have to bounce another land. You spread out your fetches.
Yeah. Play Flooded Strand.
Okay.
Tap Relic, target you,
Okay.
and pass the turn. So now you're at 23.
Okay. Alrighty.
This was a list from one of the recent challenges. It's not exactly Spike's list. I think Spike's list has Shark Typhoons, and that helps you close these games out a lot better.
Yep. That makes sense.
I'm just trying to figure out how I'm closing the game. I've drawn so many cards, but I only have 2 in my hand.
Yeah. You probably have to just start jacing me, I would imagine.
I have a Teferi. That's sort of my plan right now.
Yeah. I'm going to go with... Veil.
Just trying to resolve something here. What is it going to be? Maybe a Teferi? Okay, I'll force.
Okay, I will Veil.
Sure. Well, yeah, so this one draws a card now.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll snap
Okay.
and force.
Snap. Force, you have another... Oh, wait, never mind. Yeah, that force resolved. Everything resolves, so that's right. Okay.
Now you get to resolve something.
I get to resolve Nexus of Fate.
Okay.
Not anything too insane, that's for sure, but...
And I know you've got some lands in your hand, right?
Yes, you know, a mountain and I think a sanctuary. So I will now... play a sanctuary, target Time Warp.
Crack Strand, go to 13.
Okay.
Not even sure if I have anything.
Just to shuffle your deck.
I have an island.
Okay.
And I've already used the snap. So yeah, let's stop Corey from taking another turn and pop this relic, which I was probably going to have to do at some point anyway.
Yep. You get to draw your card. All on tap.
Yep.
All right. Let's start with an Uro.
You go to 26.
Yep. I will play my land. 3, 4, 5. Time Warp.
Yep.
Growth Spiral. Do I want to put this land into play? Yeah, probably.
And then you bounce Sanctuary, yeah.
Yeah. That was just my... I played my 2 lands now, right? So now it's a question if I want to maybe sack and get like one of these cycling lands into my hand to be able to draw a card. Kind of think I want to do that. So I'll crack this.
You go to 25.
Yep. Okay. I'll get Mystic. I'll return, or I'll put Time Warp on top. And I will return this land. Draw this for my turn. Play it.
Yep.
Cycle.
So I know you have a land in your hand right now?
Yes. So I'm taking the next turn. I will put this on top.
Yeah. She doesn't really get you anywhere.
Yeah, that doesn't get me anywhere right now. Yeah. But this, okay, all right, but this does get me somewhere. Okay. Okay, I will just play this instead. And I'm debating if I want to sack to get the other try. Yeah, and I think I do, actually.
So sack Misty brings you to 24.
Okay, so I do get the next turn, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So, yeah.
Oh, I was like, no, I don't have another land. So I think this is my last land. I can get a Triome, but that's not great. So I'm going to get this. I'm going to target...
That's actually perfect. You can target Time Warp, float mana, draw the Time Warp, and you still have exactly enough with the Euro.
Exactly. So that land is going to return this, but I got to float it first. And I'm going to put this on top. I'm going to cycle it to draw it. Now I'm going to untap, take that turn. All right, I think we might have did it. Yeah, because I cycled and drew it. Okay, so 3, 4, 5. Oh, no, but I don't have double... Oh, I do have double.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I will Time Warp.
Yep.
I will bring Uro back.
Leave the Time Warp, yeah. Go to 27.
27, draw. Did I play a land this turn?
No.
I haven't, right? Okay, so then I will put Time Warp on top. Untap. Draw this. You're at 12?
I'm at 13.
You're at 13, okay. You got the creature too, so I will start by casting Nexus. Shuffle this.
Well, this was an incredible sequence of draws.
Yeah, this has been absurd. I will attack Jace. Trigger.
So you go to 30.
Yep.
And I'm going to lose the Jace anyway, so I'll just let it die. Well, no, I'll just block, I guess.
Okay. Then second main, I will bounce, draw a card.
So now I'm dead.
I think so.
Yeah, you just get to take every...
I don't know. I don't know how it works like that. Let's play it out. So now I get the Nexus turn. I mean, I think you are dead, but I don't think it's a loop or anything right now. So 3, 4, 5. I will go with Time Warp.
Yep.
Attack you. Draw a card.
I go to 7. You go to 33.
I will put...
So you have another turn right now.
Yeah.
So just put the Cryptic on top. Unless you have another...
You took this one.
I'm at 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll go this. I got Jace.
You don't even need the Jace. You just have 2 more turns attack.
Yeah. Wow.
I just had no pressure. I couldn't actually close the game. The deck's supposed to win with Planeswalkers and 2 Snapcasters. I just never found a Teferi.
I think you fell for one trap. The only reason that I won is you paying attention to the Veils. You just got to let them go, I think.
Well,
because, I mean, just in hindsight.
Oh, because then I just get to break up the loop later?
Yeah, because then I just Nexus and sure. But with you using the forces on the Veils, it allowed me to force through Nexus.
Well, so if I don't counter the first one, then you just Nexus that turn.
Yep, I draw.
And then
I just take another turn, and then I do nothing.
Conundrum also won you that game, Corey. Confounding Conundrum, I think, also.
No, that's kind of how I thought it was going to be. I really thought there was a world where Confounding Conundrum was only going to help me. Because I just do not think that's the card to beat these kind of decks. But
the real issue was you had both the remaining Veils. If you only have one, then it doesn't matter if I counter it or not, and it's generally better for me to counter it, I think. But the fact that you had the second one, and I mainly countered the second one because...
Well, the second one would have drawn me a card.
Yeah,
so you had to, once you were committed to countering
it was really the second one that got me, and maybe I should have, I wasn't sure what you were doing. I thought you were trying to resolve a Teferi.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what I was doing either, but that's all I had. So I was just hoping... I wasn't even a huge plan. I was like, I know I have to try to do this. I hope you fight over it. And then I was hoping that I could get you to pop the Relic as well. I think that was another instance where I was like... Until I actually get 6 cards, it doesn't matter for Uro. And I had another Uro in hand, so I'm like, the only chance I have is you to sack the Relic first. I mean, I would have got 1 extra Time Warp, so I just don't think that does anything, too, when I'm just Time Warping, getting it back.
Well, at that point, I'm out of counter spells, so if you have Time Warp plus Threat, an Omnath or, a Teferi or anything like that, it becomes threatening.
Yeah.
So that was my logic there. But yeah, you're right. I definitely used my spells, I think, a little bit loose there to give you the small window.
Yeah.
And then you burst right through it. So impressive showing from the deck, being able to sort of go off from such a low base of resources. And the real problem here was twofold. And there are 2 differences that I can tell from the list that we have here that we grabbed from a recent challenge and the list that I've seen Spike play.
Yeah.
One is the lack of Shark Typhoon, so I just didn't have the pressure to close the game out when I had this huge advantage. And one was the use of Confounded Conundrum as a card for this matchup as opposed to Tail's End, which is what he plays. It was really awkward for me to not have hard counter spells.
Yeah, you just don't have a way to kill me except emblems, right?
Yeah, I have emblems and Snapcasters.
And Snapcasters? Yeah, you got to have some way to push through.
Modern is too powerful. You've got to be able to shut the door.
Yeah, the time and days where just winning off Teferi emblems and Jace emblems are not as prevalent now.
And you saw it there. I kept drawing cards. You kept, forcing me to have answers.
Yeah, I mean, you were outrageously ahead for so very long, but just you couldn't close during those specific turns. Yeah.
And then really specifically the fact that my counterspells were all remands and force negations, which just got more and more awkward as the game went on.
Yeah.
Instead of having something like Tail's End that could just shut down things on a 1-for-1 basis, or more cryptic commands would have been good, but I boarded a couple of those out. And
then also just Confounding Conundrum giving me back sanctuaries at any point did not help you.
I definitely think Conundrum can be good on the early turns, but the fact that it's not 100% reliable and you have situations like this where it's actually a liability means that you just don't want it.
So the what I was setting up, I mean, I feel this feels like so long ago, and we'll head to our next match soon, but what I was setting up, I had one fetch land in hand whenever I was like not playing any, just to save it with the Omnath. Yeah. And if you would have let that Omnath go, I was able to go Scolding Tarn, sack it, and then Growth Spiral, but I would have returned one land because I wouldn't have had another land, and then Growth Spiral to deal 4 to your Planeswalkers. So I was relying on Confounding Conundrum to help me out there on that turn if you would have ever let the Omnath resolve, which I was hoping was going to happen because that was just a really cool play.
Yeah.
But so it wasn't the case.
So a few missteps here, and when you're playing a control deck, like your list has to be incredibly well built, and it just feels like this specific list was lacking in a couple key departments there.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't, I would have easily taken down that third game.
Agreed. And sorry if we were lacking in the commentary department. Both of us were like, wow, this board state is tough. Like, we both had to be 100% in it. That is a tough matchup.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. Okay, everyone. That's going to do it for round number 2. It seemed like we started that 2 hours ago. So, wow, that was a grind. So we're 1-1 with a 4-color ramp here up against, what's your third deck?
It's going to be Death and Taxes. I got a little Vile deck. Hopefully better at disrupting your mana early. That's really important in this matchup.
Yeah. Leon Arbiter still haunts my dreams to this day. So we'll see how that goes. We're going to be playing the last round for the marble. We're going to take a 5-minute break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on Versus Live.